And we are live, as our StreamYard tells us. And we always believe StreamYard because it's a great platform. If you haven't come across StreamYard, by the way, StreamYard are sponsoring the JHM group, I have to say. So I always like to put in a nice little word for them because it is an absolutely brilliant platform. We're streaming simultaneously here into my personal profile, into the Jonny Cooper Global, I forgot what it was called, the business page, whatever, the Jonny X Marketing Facebook group, into my LinkedIn profile. So you're watching on LinkedIn, hello. And bizarrely, it's also streaming into Twitter. Why? And YouTube as well. So the guy next to me, if you don't know who this is, he's got his name up there. Steve and I have been friends for years, haven't we, Steve? And
we have.
You were, it's fair to say, extremely prominent and active in the group up till a couple of years ago. You've had a bit of a, what's the word, sabbatical, haven't you?
Yeah, a bit of a trip away.
Yes. Yeah. I just realised I've got a really bizarre banner floating along the bottom here that says, describe your front door. Yeah. There's actually very little reason for that. What I'm actually going to do is put that banner up instead.
Describe your front door, Jonny.
Organised chaos it is. Right, if you are here, give us a hi in the comments so we can see that lovely Annabella is here. Give us a hey, give us a yay, give us a hello, guys. Tell us who you are. Let's have a look at you. Let's see the cut of your jib in the comments, please. We thrive off your energy because it can be a little bit of a cold, distant place sitting here in StreamYard when you guys are all over where you are.
Hello, Caroline.
Caroline's here. Tiffany's here. That's a new name. I don't recognise that name. Hello. Yeah, another extremely nice one from Caroline. Here is Dana from Sunnyvale. Well, you're very welcome, Dana. And do you know what? If you go to streamyard.com/Facebook, you can give it permission to display your name down so we know who you are next time you type, which no doubt you will be doing, typing lots and lots. Lynn's here. Lovely Fiona's here. Hey, Fifi. Miranda is here too. Fantastic. We are going to be gathering momentum. Lots of people jump on board once we're rolling, once they can see it live. But wherever you're watching it, you're very, very welcome, for sure. I'm just going to turn my lights up a bit because my face looking a bit dark compared to Steve's. So Steve, welcome. You're very welcome here. How fantastic. And I know what's coming today, so I'm more excited even than the people who are watching it because they're probably not sure yet what's going to happen. But what it's about, here's the headline topic. I'm just going to flip this on the bottom of the screen so you can read it on your banners, folks. Turn your fancy into reality. How are we going to do that, Steve? Why do we feel that most people in our community, shall we say, if you're going to use the F word, fail to reach their goals, or at least only reach them in part? They don't actually get where they say they want to. There's a kind of dichotomy, isn't there, between what they say they want and what they achieve.
Yeah.
What in your mind is the primary reason for that?
I think it's about from experience, I think it's about goal setting and not understanding goal setting.
Yeah.
We're told that we should set goals. And a lot of the time we're told we should set achievable goals.
Yeah. And that's the kiss of death, isn't it?
And if you ask me, the worst thing to do is to have an achievable goal because, who wants to achieve their goals? Where do you go once you've achieved your goals? You don't have to think of new ones.
Oh, no, yeah. Lavish goals are the name of the game. Do you remember that little exercise we did where we got the community to build a 50 grand program?
Yeah, I love that one. When I get a client, I always say to them, take their highest figure that they currently charge, multiply it by a factor of 10, and then go away and decide what they could do for that amount of money.
Yeah, and post that on the website. 50 grand program.
Absolutely. So rather than goal settings, I think having a vision is a much better idea.
Right.
And we're going to talk about vision in a minute, because I always get a bit of pushback when I talk about vision. So people say, "Oh, well, I'm not visual," but we'll come to that in a second with a little exercise. But I think having a vision, having an overall, I've also heard this, and I've called this a North Star.
Yes.
Which is a big picture of where you want to be and the things you want to achieve, which you can set up ideally kind of just out of reach.
Yeah.
And keep it not so big that it scares you, but big enough that it feels just a stretch to, can I actually do that? And you keep growing it, and you keep, as you come close to achieving things, you grow them and you make them bigger, so that you're always just kind of, it's that old picture of the guy on the donkey with the carrot and the stick, isn't it? I don't know if you've seen that one, but
yeah. The vision to me as well means not just a vision for meeting your goals and what that might look like, but it's a vision for the kind of person you want to be, isn't
absolutely.
it? The kind of life you want to live.
Yeah.
And I tell you, I've used some of these insights that you and I developed together, or that you showed me. I use them when I'm looking to engage a mentor. And now, I'll only engage someone, and particularly pay them to help me if they're already living the kind of life that I want to lead.
Yeah, that's a great way.
And in order to be able to do that smartly, you've got to have a vision for the kind of life you want to lead, of course. And then you can quite easily see that in other people. You think, oh yeah, I'd like to be like them.
Yeah.
But it all starts with a vision, doesn't it?
That's cool. And I always say this. I hear myself saying this all the time. If you don't know where you're going, how do you know when you get there?
Yeah, exactly. So I think we're all agreed it's much more deeper than goals, isn't it? Guys, we are going to be leaning heavily on you today to make this a workshopy style thing. So that's me getting my fingers ready on the keyboard, right? So on keyboards.
I can see that Philip has just posted that Stephen Covey calls it "Begin with the End in Mind." He's probably seen the fact that I've got Stephen Covey's book behind me.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we're all standing on the shoulders of giants, and we're
Absolutely.
all disciples of somebody or other.
Yeah.
I like to follow Seth Godin, who's a great visionary. I think it's a great word to describe him, actually. People like Robin Sharma, who write very well, about establishing your vision for your life. Yep. Rich Litvin, for example, I recommend him as an author as well. As well as the giants from the past. Napoleon Hill. I've been rereading How to Influence People. My goodness, it's absolutely timeless, that is.
It is.
And so much of that is about visualizing the person that you want to be,
And
all right,
okay, definitely. And having your board of directors, that's a thing I love to do as well. Having those people those imaginary people you can call on.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to do the first exercise, aren't we, for vision? So fingers on keyboards, folks. This is going to seem a little bit crazy, right? A little bit crazy. But Steve, what would you like people to do first?
There's a thing that always comes up from a particular section of the audience when I talk about visualization.
Yeah.
And they always say, I'm not visual. I can't do visualization. I don't see anything when I visualize.
Yeah.
And so you can say, well, okay, well, let's use the word imagine. Okay.
Yeah.
But I think there's an easier way to understand what visualize means to you.
Yeah.
We're all different. We all do things in different ways. So I ask people to think about the front door of their house or their apartment or where they live.
Yeah.
And to describe their front door to themselves.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, not just to yourselves. I want you to write this in the comments.
Because the process that you go through to call your front door to mind is effectively how you visualize.
Got it.
So some people will see the colors, and some people will know the details of it. Yeah. Other people will have just a sense of a feeling of there being something kind of there.
Yeah.
And other people, again, will be able to list features, and they'll hold stuff as a list rather than as a visual.
So we're getting somewhere. We've got the anchor of a workshop here. So drop in the comments, please, your front door. Describe it in the way that you visualize it.
Yeah.
Either close your eyes or keep your eyes open or whatever, and imagine your front door.
Now,
So if you were to describe it, what does your front door
somebody
look
in the
like?
comments has made a great, and they're in a Facebook user, they haven't logged in.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. How do you find your car in a car park when you come back from shopping? Yeah, that's a great way to do it as well. Yeah.
I've decided my next car is going to be bright yellow because I'm sick of having grey cars that I can't find. Okay, so Caroline Day's gone straight in. Oak stable door. Anything else? Any other distinguishing features, Caroline? Can we have something from all of you, please? Describe your front door in the comments. This is all going to make sense in a moment, by the way. It's not just a frivolous exercise. Tell us about your front door.
Do you get a color, or do you get a detail, or do you just get an idea of what might be there? Explain that. Yeah, talk about that as well. Jonny needs an orange.
See as well whether, and Steve and I'll do this. We'll be extremely judgmental, and we'll tell you whether we can imagine your front door. That's a bit wide, it's a bit vague, isn't it? What? I'm going to say it's a wide front door. I don't know whether it is or not.
And I'm going to throw something out. Is your door happy?
Oh, Jonny needs an orange car. I have no idea. You can only get Lamborghinis orange or Porsches probably.
How does your door make you feel?
White panel with stained glass windows, chrome handles. Now I'm picturing this, Caroline. That's getting there, isn't it? Maybe what we landed on here, Steve, is that a useful vision is something you can describe to other people and they can visualize it as well.
Can you call up Fiona? I really like the description that Fiona's come up with.
Yeah, hang on. Let's go over. Let's do this one. Facebook. Not sure who you are. White double in the middle. Yeah, I can picture that.
Yeah, I can get that one. I'm a non-visual person, and I can get that one.
Don't forget, if you are showing up here as Facebook user, you can go to streamyard.com/Facebook and just press a button. It'll give you permission.
Right, Caroline, my door is ecstatic. Cool.
So Fiona, it's a grey heavy design to keep people out.
I love this.
Unless you want them in. Letters on the door in a colour I don't remember. Yes, a pretty happy door.
Yeah. I love the detail there.
Designed to keep people out. Yeah. My door makes me ecstatic too. Yeah, it's going to make you ecstatic, isn't it? Because it makes you feel safe without a front. Imagine what you'd feel like without a front door. Yeah. Front door is plain above my house. It'll be panelled walnut with a side light.
So this the value of this exercise, something as simple as describe your front door. When we go into it, we find that actually there's all kinds of color and emotion and detail, isn't there? You know, it's more than just imagining, more than just visualizing.
There's some great ones here actually.
Yeah.
Four panes of glass. Very happy light out. No lock on the outside. No lock on the outside. How's that work? How do you get in? You just shout at it and it opens.
It's like is that number 10 Downing Street, isn't it? It doesn't open from the outside.
Oh, I see what you mean. Like somebody has to let you in. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Dark blue screw, the few marks that won't come off in the red. Shame we don't know your name because it's a lovely one. This a little box set into a plate. Very loud doorbell. Bong bong. Yeah, I've got that.
I love this.
The door
number written in Braille. That's cool.
I wonder how someone who's blind would think to look for the Braille. That's true, isn't it? I've never seen a blind man pawing a front door.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, so we know now that you're good at visualizing. I don't know whether any of you had to run outside and look at your front door. Caroline's explaining it. It's a second front door.
Okay.
It's an outer door.
So now that we've warmed up our visualization muscles,
yes,
which is the
second one,
the point of that,
we're going to go into. It says it on the bottom here. This is an exercise that Steve has branded.
I didn't create this. It's a well-known exercise.
Yes,
I can't take credit for it, but it's one that I love. It's one that I use all the time.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to imagine an arbitrary day, and we've set this with that post early that you posted earlier, Jonny. We've set this at 3 years in the future.
Yeah, that's,
Doesn't have to be 3
this
years, but
post
that's
here.
3 years from now. Let's go with that for now.
So this morning you were all very, very creative. You told us where you'll be 3 years from now, and there were some very, very interesting things which we won't interrupt the flow with. So your perfect day, let's imagine 3 years in the future. So you're living your perfect life, aren't you? Having a perfect day.
On this day, everything that you want has happened. You've achieved everything you want. Everything is wonderful. And we're going to go into the details of what that day is like. And the idea of this is, rather than setting a goal, we're going to get a feeling, we're going to get an idea, we're going to engage all of the senses, the sight, your hearing, your smell, everything, to really engage in what this is like.
We're going to do it bit by bit then. So here's the first stage. We need to anchor this in reality. Where are you going to be geographically? So some of you answered this morning. Where will you be 3 years from now? So you're living your perfect life, you're having a perfect day. 3 years in the future. Where in the world are you? Just type in the comments, let us know where you are. That's all we need to know at this stage. We're going to grab some more detail from you in a bit. Just type in the comments, where in the world are you living your perfect day? Just while you're doing that, I'll share Philip Bott's front door. Shut the front door. I've got no idea what I would do with the paint peeling off. When this come on, those plastic slap lines, half the ones are broke from my dog jumping up to greet me. Well, that's a good excuse for having a broken blind, isn't it? If ever there was one.
Where when we're talking about where are you, is that different? Can you just, because there are some people in this group, because I've been away for a while, I don't know everybody in the group. So is that different to where you are now? That's something that would be quite interesting.
Okay. So I'm in England because that's where I love to be. Lakeport, California. Sounds glorious. New Forest, England. Nice, if a little wet.
Beautiful. Went through there last year.
Living by the sea. Can you be more specific? Where? Facebook user, where will you be living by the sea? If that's the same Facebook user, not sure. Well, listen, this is a visualization of a perfect day. I'm going to hold you to task for this Facebook user. Where would it be if it in every way represented to you a perfect day? Come on, you can imagine somewhere, right?
Hawaii and California. Wow.
I'm glad you didn't say a place between Hawaii and California, because that'd be a bit wet, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would be,
Be a bit damp, that would. Somewhere on this planet will be water. Right, okay, we're getting somewhere. Oh, beautiful. Okay. If you can pick anywhere, all the better. I'm not sure if there's a little bit cynical. Iceland. Really? I can see the appeal. Wee bit chilly for me and dark most of the time.
As long as they don't mean the UK supermarket.
Iceland, yeah. Lynn's boasting here. Lynn has 3 houses.
Okay.
We're in the company of royalty here. No. One of my 3 houses are higher Scotland than Colorado. Fantastic. Cool. Okay. Something Idaho for me, says Philip. Okay. Snowdonia, Wales.
Rockies, I love Snowdonia.
This is Jeff, isn't it? You are Jeff.
I love Snowdonia. I climbed Mount Snowdon when I was a kid. It was absolutely stunning. I've been back a couple of times.
I'm zooming past there a week today, next Friday. I'm going to Aberystwyth.
Okay.
Yeah.
The sea in Devon. I was in Devon last year. End of last year, I did a motorbike trip through Devon.
Yeah, we love that.
Beautiful.
I am in a beautiful farmhouse in Curry.
That's lovely.
Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
See, there is a nice visualization, right?
Yeah.
You're asking the wrong person, Annabella. I'm not StreamYard or anybody connected with it. But it's a bugger, isn't it? What a shame. Wales and Bavaria.
Okay.
All right. So, any more for any more? Anybody else would like to tell us where in the world they would be living their perfect day? We've got some great visualizations. I want you to hold these. Well, Steve wants you to hold them in your mind, because the next question is very much going to flow from this, isn't it?
Okay.
The next question is this.
Okay. So let's start to engage some. And again, I've used the word see here, but if you're not visual, let's go back to your front door. Remember how you do it. So we'll use the word see, but I mean imagine, you know. So the idea here is when you get up in the morning and you look out the window, what are you witnessing? What is out there? Again, we're bringing more color and detail and more emotion into this. So I think one of them was person was living in Kerry, and there was a river, and you know, like if you're living by the sea, do you hear seagulls? If you're, you know, really kind of what are you witnessing when you look out the window in the morning?
Yeah, what can you see? Let's have that in the comments.
Tells you quite a lot about yourself, you know. Do you witness a busy, bustling city?
Yeah.
Or is it peaceful and calm and serene?
Yeah.
Yeah. Trees, grass, hills, and mountains. Okay. Fiona's
a big part
in there.
of the reason why you'd want to go there, of course, so you can see the sea. I remember we rented an apartment about a year ago, I think, for the half term, in Portmaddock, and our front balcony in our apartment was overlooking the harbour. It was beautiful. Just stand there with a cup of coffee in your hand, watching the little yachts sailing by.
And that sound of sails banging against the mast. It's so like a yeah. I know. I can imagine.
Then there's the occasional dickhead on a jet ski.
Yeah.
Go away, you moron. Trees, grass, hills, or mountains, and background. All mountains. Okay. Let's try and focus it down. Which can you see? Oh, what a lovely one. A robin. See in the background.
Bizarrely, I've got 4 robins that live in my garden.
How do you know the different ones? I'm just the same one 4 times.
Because I've seen them all at the same time.
Oh, okay.
And they're supposed to be solitary creatures that live on their own, but I don't know.
Oh, look at this beautiful garden with a lawn running down to the sea.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, lovely.
Okay, I can visualize that. It's gorgeous, isn't it? Lots of green plants, beautiful sunrise or sunset. Not many of the houses are noisy. Yeah, it's getting away from the racket. Oh, animals. And
a tractor.
Caroline Day is actually troubled by some of the animals to the extent she's building a cattle grid by her gate.
Oh, okay.
We know that. I know that. Okay. Caroline Turnbull, by the way, is an absolutely brilliant writer. We're working together very closely now on the CAB, and Caroline has come up with some wonderful writing. Loads of beautiful different coloured trees, a quaint bridge just up the road leading to a canal. Goslings and ducklings on the edge of the canal, waddling next to their parents, or shuffling into the water, paddling madly.
Yeah.
Quaint, picturesque, very English, just thought I like it.
Lovely.
That's marvellous, isn't it? What a visualisation that is.
Yeah.
Philip gets to sit on the front porch, watch the sunrise over eastern mountains above me. Yeah.
Now, I'm going to, talking about Caroline and writing, I'm going to suggest to everybody that they write this stuff down. You know,
I hope you are doing now as well as typing it.
Don't just put it in the comments. And when I do this work with clients, I actually I did this with you, Jonny, actually.
Yeah, I'll put it in a book.
Go out and buy a book specially to do it in. You went and bought an orange notebook, if I remember rightly. I did.
It's still there. It's not far from my desk now. It's just
and write this stuff down. Yeah, you know, I actually did this exercise myself now it must be about 15 years ago. And I basically described the house that I have in France.
Yeah, right.
Even down to hanging out
before you had it.
Before we had it, and even down to hanging out in the bar and playing music in the bar and things like, you know, it's just very strange. It all kind of came true.
Yeah. So it's like a chicken and egg thing. Which came first? You know, did you find it because you visualized it, or did you visualize it because that's what you wanted? I don't know.
There's a discussion. There's a long discussion to be had about that, I think.
Do you know what a common factor is here with all you guys? Is the sea.
Yeah.
We all love to be beside the seaside, don't we? Yeah. You guys are mutual appreciation societies, you Carolines. I know that. Yeah. So that's the one that's really done it for me at the moment, because
Yeah.
it's like a film set. It's almost like a scene description for a screenplay or something.
Absolutely.
Very, very clear.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, great. All right.
Right. Let's move on to let's move through this and get.
Yes. So what do you see? The next important thing is, what do you hear? Let's have a sensory assault here. What can you hear? Some of you touched on that earlier, but just do a couple of things, a couple of little words, phrases about what you hear.
And what do you maybe hear? Think about this. What do you maybe hear within the house as well?
Oh, yeah.
Not just outside, but what's happening in the house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want anybody to say an alarm clock.
No. There's another the looking one here. And that's nice. In the Bay Area, near San Francisco, the hillside overlooking the area, in a white house on a small hill looking out over the ocean. Garden with flowers, flowering trees, grass. I can smell it. Bloody hell. That's the next one. The house has large windows and a great room opening from the window. From the kitchen, sorry. Excellent. Okay, so you type in the comments now. What can you hear? Shall we combine the next two, actually, just to get a bit of pace into this? Because we're going to ask you, what can you smell as well?
Yeah.
So what can you hear? I'm going to edit this, actually. I'll edit this. So what do you hear and smell? It'll be clean. We don't want any drains or anything like that. Be something nice. Okay, what do you hear and smell? If you tap that in the comments now, please. So we talked about what it looks like. What does it sound like? What does it smell like? Let's encapsulate these in the next few comments. What can you hear when you imagine this perfect day? You're looking out over the bay, potentially. Common thread is you're by the seaside, or not necessarily. One or two of you said mountains. What can you hear? What can you hear in your ears?
Facebook user, sound of the sea, freshly made espresso.
Oh, you know, I love that sound and smell, actually. My coffee machine is a sensory riot, apart from obviously I can see it, but hearing it.
Yeah.
It's part of the reason I drink coffee. I don't think I do it for the caffeine. I do it for the process.
Yeah, I've got that. I've got one of those bean to cup machines as well. It's, fantastic, isn't it?
So Carolyn's getting a chorus from a multitude of different birds competing with the sound of the morning radio. Kettle bubbling away on the range, bacon sizzling, teasing the sense with its rich aroma. I love the smell of bacon, even though I'm vegan. Honeysuckle breezing in through the window. The sound of my love's voice in the background. Oh, they're wonderful. My instinct is, Caroline, that you are going to achieve this, right? You are going to achieve this because your vision is so rich, isn't it, and powerful. Birds singing, horses galloping, clunk, clunk, clunk. Shoes trotting. Not trotting up your garden, though, are they, after you put your cattle grid in place? Breeze snuffling. Bang! Oinking. Cup of tea on the way. Oh, yeah. Espresso machine. Lovely. You guys are doing really well. So we've got the hear and smell. Opera music from inside the house.
Cool.
You're married to Pavarotti or something. No, it's the sound of the sea in the distance. Wonderful, wonderful. That is like some kind of English TV series, that was. Birds, insects, fresh air smell.
These are great.
Grass. Yeah. Fiona is in Colombia, by the way. Unless she's left in the last day or two. Yeah. I had pigeons, a robin, and a great tit. I hear the sound of the shower running. Smell the aroma of a hot lemon and ginger. Oh, lovely. I can smell that now. You just mentioned it. It's marvellous, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the sound of the waves, squawking the seagulls, a cow. Okay. Tell you what, you must have bloody good hearing if you can hear your rabbit munching on hay. That's a very quiet sound, isn't it? Smell the sea, freshly cut grass, and the coffee in my mug. Oh, wow.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Occasional manure. Yeah. The smells of the countryside, as my dad used to call it. Yeah. Kids wake up and say, arguing about what's for breakfast. The birds chirp in the trees, the cattle low in pasture. Maybe a few chickens clucking, maybe. We're living with animals, aren't we? Here.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Twittering and calling to each other. Plumeria. I don't know what that is. Green smell of grass and earth after rain and misguided rooster crowing just for fun. Guitar of who's IZ? Should we know that? Playing indoors, guitar of IZ. Very obscure reference there. Is it? I don't know who it is. Oh. Okay. Still in Colombia. Yeah, Fiona's still there. Israel, Kamakoyole. You must be fair. Look, that was a very obscure reference. I don't think anybody else on this call.
Caroline.
Who that was.
Oh, you got to put that one up.
Look at Johnny Cooper waffling on. All right, fine.
Okay.
Get your point. Yeah. Point taken. Fantastic.
Okay.
Great. Well, look, I'm just going to take a banner off because there's something we didn't ask before. We're going to get into some more nuts and bolts of it, such as doing and things like that. But what I'm going to do first, I would just like to say, oh God, can I read this comment? I've got a question for them, Steve. You think it's a good question? How is this making you feel so far? How do you feel having written all this wonderful prose? Just tell us in a few words. Does this feel like pie in the sky? Does it feel like, wouldn't that be lovely? Or does it feel like something that's going to happen? How does it feel?
Does it inspire you? Is it inspiring?
Well, I'm intrigued about, do you actually think you're going to do it? Yeah. It's expansive. Inspired. We've got a great one coming up here. Yeah, you see?
Yeah.
But isn't that the key, Steve? Because if it feels like that, then you probably will, won't you?
And there's so much that you can take from this as we go through this process, that it can highlight what's actually important to you. You can use it as a kind of a barometer. The thing that I'm doing right now, is that taking me towards or away from this thing that I want? And even when you go in depth to this, it can tell you how much you need to earn.
Oh yeah.
Because this will guide you as to, well, what do I actually need to bring in? Putting aside all that stuff about having a 6-figure business or a 7-figure business or all that kind of stuff. Actually, sometimes you need far less than you think.
Yes.
In order to have the life that you want.
Yeah. I'll just let that comment linger from Caroline because, because just read it.
Yeah.
Feels inspiring. Fantastic. Well, listen, hold that inspiration because we've got a couple more little things to do, which will really, really start to put the meat on the bones for you. So we've got all the kind of touchy-feely stuff, what do you see, what do you hear and smell? But here's a question for you. What are you actually doing?
Yep.
As in, what are you doing in your perfect day?
And what are you can look at this in two ways. Again, you can, going into detail, what are you doing from the perspective of your free time? And what are you doing from career-wise, from your business?
Yeah.
Are the two the same? I mean, you'd find it very hard to draw a line between my business and my free time because they've become mashed together over the years. But do you have a distinction between that? That's not everyone's cup of tea. Some people want work and playtime, and they want
boundaries.
They want boundaries. Some people don't.
Yeah, feels a bit burnt out in the 6- and 7-figure business crowd. Yeah, aren't we all? aren't we all? It's not that you don't want to achieve that. It's not that you won't achieve that, but it's probably not the starting point for an ambition or a goal, is it? The stuff we're talking about today is a lot more inspiring for you, isn't it? For sure. So just a few words. What are you actually doing on this perfect day? So you made your coffee. What's next? You can't just sit around all day looking at the robins in the garden, can you? What are you doing? What are you actually doing? What does your perfect day involve that you're actually doing? Just a few words about that. See what we come up with. I knew Caroline a bit quick out of the block here. So see some clients making a difference in the world, developing more coaching programs, walking the dog, feeding the ducks, reveling in the sunshine. Beautiful, live my best life. Mix of all the stuff that feeds my soul. Caroline, I wish no less than all this for you. You know, you absolutely deserve it, and this rich visualization is the way to go. For the rest of you, by the way, just have a look at some of Caroline's words here, and you'll see how expansive she is. You know how accurate and detailed the visualization is.
I would immediately, when I read that Caroline's put there, I see a couple of jumping off points in here.
Okay.
So making a difference in the world. It's a great thing. It's a great sentence, but for me, that's a jumping off point. What is that difference? What is that difference like? And you know, yeah, absolutely. But really going in depth into what that difference is.
Yeah, it is important to be clear, isn't it, with phrases like that, because you know you could argue that the water treatment plant that discharges sewage into the sea is making a difference in the world. It's not a very good difference, is it?
But also, you know, making a difference in the world can be making a difference through your business, so impacting people, or it can be making an enormous amount of money so that you can build wells in Africa.
Yeah,
you know, there's that as well. I know people that do both.
Yeah. Reflecting how good it is, another program for 30 accountants starting in an hour. I see. Okay, so that's what you're doing, is it? You're doing that. Going to PT, teaching lessons, balancing my books. It's important.
Yeah, I always gives me
balance the books. This book's heavier than this book. It must have more pages in it. Visualising offers for the local college, dancing exercise, more dancing at night. Who are you, by the way? Seems like I might know who you are. We've got one or two dancers. Noted, thank you very much for the tip. Yeah. Feeding the cattle. Don't they feed themselves, cattle? No, they just eat the grass. Don't know much about cattle. Client or 3 to manage the ADHD symptoms. Excellent. Excellent. Right, lunch with friends for your client calls. Fine-tuning details for retreats.
Okay, here is another jumping off point.
Yeah.
Fine-tuning details for retreats and VIP days. If I was working this as a process again with somebody, I would be saying, okay, we need to start a new page. Let's talk about what the retreats and the VIP days are about.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Listen to music and walk in the dark. All right. So we've got some good ones here as to what you're actually doing. The next bit is going to be, who? Let's think about the people that are involved here, please. I'm going to think about the actual people. So who are you meeting? Do you want to just talk them through that while I show?
Okay, so
these?
So who are you meeting? Now, this could be, have we got a separate section for team members, Johnny? Or
yes, we do.
Okay, so we can kind of, looking at the time we've got left, let's include team members in this one.
Yes, okay.
So who are you meeting? That could be clients. It could be people that you're working with, people you're JVing with. It could be just the people who fill your soul with happiness. Not everything is about work, you know. And that could be, it can be the specific people, or it also can also be the kind of people.
Yeah.
So, you know, are you in a spiritual place where you're meeting your guides, your gurus? Are you meeting somebody that is going to be handling your marketing? You know, really kind of go deep into the types of people, because people come and go from your life, and having an idea of the kind of people you want to be around is really important.
Yeah, it really is. So we've combined these.
Mm-hmm.
So who are you meeting? Who's on your team? Just pop some comments in here about the kind of people that you want around you. What are they doing for you, with you, or what are you doing for them? Yeah. So your perfect day probably involves meeting people. Who are these people? Are the people that are in your life already, or will you discover them a little bit further down the line? So who are you meeting? Who's on your team? Who do you need around you to support this idea of your perfect day? Let's have some ideas here in the comments. Let's see what we got. So with PA and a VA, events organizer, I have a book editor, my gorgeous husband, good circle of friends. I don't know how many of these are in the future. I'm guessing you might already have a gorgeous husband. So yeah. So again, a mix: clients, family members, people who need guidance, inspiration, collaborations, like-minded people looking to forge valuable connections to the human race, the betterment of a race.
Okay, so many jumping off points in that one.
Yeah.
Collaborations with like-minded, empathic people. Where are those people going to be? How are you going to find those people?
Yeah.
Is it, you know, a space where you invite them to? There's so many things you can jump off there.
Yeah. It's worth mentioning at this point, by the way, Steve has very generously agreed to share a perfect day process template, which he has previously, excuse me, just going to close the door, which he has previously charged quite large sums of money for as part of his bigger programs. But this is a PDF that'll be available to you today as a download, and we'll drop the link in the chat a little bit later. But what this is going to encourage you to do is to bottle all this stuff, all this good work you've done today, and to expand on it, potentially in a journal. I think Caroline T has already done enough here to fill a few pages in a journal. But as Steve says,
and
you know, that's
if you're going to, and as well, if you're going to do this in a journal, it's really important to make, like, as I said earlier, it's important to make sure that you go through the ritual here of choosing the journal that you're going to do. I cover this in the document, but choosing the journal, when I do this process with one-to-one clients, I get them to go out specially to go and find the journal, to buy it, which you did that, Jonny, and
I did that. It's a bright orange one on the shelf.
Yeah, and that journal becomes the sacred place that you do this. There's a lot of ritual built into that, you know. And it's an ongoing. It's an ongoing thing. It's not something that you do once and put down.
No. You're always updating, aren't you?
Always updating it.
Okay, people who desire your work will choose to change. Fun, supportive people to dance with, to have healing swaps with, go for walks with. Yeah. It's not a bad idea to have some people in mind, is it? Annabelle's got a very, oh gosh, you do have a gorgeous husband. I've seen pictures of him. Gardener, marketing person. Oh, that's a hot potato, isn't it? He is. Lovely husband delivering tea. I would suggest it's easier to find a lovely husband delivering tea than it is to find a marketing person. My adult children, friends who enjoy walking. Yeah, where we fix the world. Times kind, love, and support me. Isn't this lovely? Isn't this nice? Ooh, you're doing this every day as a journal exercise.
I recommend that this is an ongoing process. So
you rather have to start it again every day, do you?
No, rather than writing down, trying to do it all on one page, put your morning on a page, turn a couple of pages over, put sort of mid-morning, lunchtime, a few pages later. So you leave space within the journal, so that you can, as ideas come to you, because often the ideas that end up in this come to you when you're not writing them.
Well, this brings us on to the next one actually, and we've only got a couple more. So this is kind of connected with stuff that we've talked about already. But when do you want to work? When do you want to work? Think about
you're a morning person.
Yeah.
Do you like getting up early at 4 a.m. and creating stuff, or do you like to chill a bit more and start mid-morning, or you're a night owl maybe?
Also think week by week, how many days a week do you want to work? Which days?
Absolutely.
Which days? Do you want to have massive sabbaticals in chunks? Do you want to have 6 months off?
I'm a fan of not working on Mondays.
Or Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, or Fridays.
I'm a fan of not working on Mondays because everybody else has to work on Mondays, and I'm a fan of just taking those off.
Yeah. So hours in the day, folks, days in the week, weeks in the year. Have a think about it. Complete with gorgeous partner, yeah. The next one, this is a meditation. Great, writing down.
In the last section of that document is a process for how to actually visualize this that I recommend, taken loosely on a kind of on some stuff from NLP.
Yeah. Okay, so here's a good guide. You see, this has to be part of your perfect day. If that's the case, you'll be doing massively creative stuff at 4 p.m, won't you? And you're not going to be asked getting up too early.
But not on a Friday.
Going to work on a Friday. That's perfect.
Cool.
Yeah. 9:30. That's my stairs Monday, Friday. Is that live in the afternoon, or you live in the afternoon?
And it's different kind of work, potentially different kind of work at different times of the day, isn't it?
Yeah, chunky day. Yeah. I mean, if we're building perfection into a day, we'd all choose, I think, to have regular breaks, to not slog away from morning till night, not too long in front of a screen. They say if you're in the screen more than 2 hours, you need to have a break.
But again, regular breaks. There's something else that I often say to people: schedule downtime. People don't understand how important it is to take time away to do nothing.
Yeah. What do we think about when we work across a year? Would we have large amounts of time off in one piece?
It's going to depend. It's going to depend entirely on how integrated your business and life is.
Yeah.
You know, John, if people don't know, I split my time between two houses, 2 places.
Yeah.
And when I'm in France, at my place in France, I'm still working.
Yeah.
People, it's just fun. You might think it's a holiday, but I'm still working. It's just I've changed my location.
Here's a good one, Caroline here. Another one there that's quite specific. Client called mid-morning for a couple of hours, right in the afternoon. Yeah. Cool. That's a good template, isn't it? It gives a lot of wiggle room. It was supposed to be easy that time. Caroline Day. Oh, it's annoying, isn't it? Stream that thing, isn't it? Work at different times of day and night. I suppose 6 hours a day, 4 or 5 days a week. Yeah. All right. Well, look, we've got some good thoughts here. Like in our school holidays in all of August. It's not a bad idea. Lots of people around the planet do that, don't they? So we just got 2 questions. This is the penultimate question, and the last one's going to be a biggie, a real biggie. Right? This is the penultimate one. Where's your family fit in? Just a couple of thoughts about where your family fits in to all this. Yeah, any of holidays where I live, people go for their holidays. Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah. I think that's part of living by the seaside. I've never done it for any length of time. Just a few months down in Sussex in England, but it must feel like holiday. You wake up and there's the sea in front of you.
Well, as somebody that has grown up and lived on a tourist island for almost his entire life, yeah, I kind of agree with that. I can see the sea from my little window here.
Yeah.
And the island I live on, if you don't know, is 9 miles by 5.
Yeah.
And there was a hot tourist location in the 80s when I was growing up. Now it's a finance centre, but
yes, and getting more so. So I think we've probably got an instinct that our family is going to fit in. Really, really important. That you've been doing that almost instinctively, won't you?
Yeah.
So here's the final question then. Final question, which is a really important one, guys. So do you want to walk us through this, Steve? Why is this so important?
Who are you doing it for? Because ultimately, that's what it's all about, isn't it? Are you doing it? Are you doing this for you? And there's no judgment here. Are you doing this for you? Are you doing this for your family? Are you wanting to leave a legacy for the people that follow after you? Or do you just want to do something massively impactful in the short time that we've all got here?
Yeah.
What's it about? What is it all about?
Yeah.
I think that's possibly one of the most important questions out of all of this that we can answer.
Yeah. Very, very good. We're getting somewhere with this, aren't we? I felt really kind of laid back and almost in a meditative state today with this, Steve. It's just been it's been great to kind of enter other people's visualizations as well. I'm just dropping something in the comment here because this is the workbook to take away from today, and I'm hoping you can see that. I can see that's gone onto my business page and onto my personal profile. I don't know if it's appeared on LinkedIn yet.
That is the link to the Google Doc that I share with my clients.
Yeah.
Now, because it's a Google Doc, it changes occasionally. When I think of new things, or I think of things that I could do better.
Right. So it's a dynamic.
So it's a dynamic document, and that link will be there, hopefully forever.
Excellent.
So keep coming back to it.
Yeah.
Much nicer than a
Fiona's found it quite meditative today as well. Difference I made to individual lives. Thanks so much for this. I'll think again in the comments on StreamYard. I'm aware that some of you are watching this on LinkedIn. Thank you very much for that. So I am just going to pop it in the post on LinkedIn. If you're watching the live video on LinkedIn, I can see it's streaming now. So we've got 26 comments. So I've dropped a link to this workbook, the Perfect Day process.
I can see a couple of people have jumped in already.
Oh, excellent. Good stuff. So download this. It's yours to keep. We're not
if you want, take a copy of it. Do with it what you will.
Yeah. I'm trying to just pop it everywhere, actually. I'll pop it as a post in Facebook as well. Oh, Facebook's actually formatted it nicely.
I also I have that document, just so that, to be really clear, I have that licensed under Creative Commons license, which means that you are free to share it and to do what give it to people. The only thing I ask is that you credit me with it.
Yeah,
that's all. But do what you want with it. Take it, share it, use it for your own benefit.
So it's popped it nicely in the group here.
Just share.
Okay. So I've got one final question for you guys. We just got a few more comments, I think. I know we saw those already. I've got one final question for you guys. Please, so fingers on keyboards. What have you taken from today? Just a few words. What's the one big thing that you've taken from today? What have you taken from today? Or describe an emotion, how you're feeling about what we've done today. So you can describe how you're feeling about what we've done today, or if you want, a bit more expansive about, the big lesson, if you like, the big thing you've taken from today. What have you got from Steve's great idea and me? What was it? Rabbiting incessantly, as somebody said. Do I talk too much then? Do I, Steve? Yeah, right. I do that.
I
So
don't know,
much
Jonny,
inspiration.
because I've always found that because I tend to not say a lot sometimes, you fill the gaps quite well.
Very diplomatic. Very diplomatic. Thank you. So much inspiration. Excited to practice it. Yes, please do. If you haven't got the download and you like it, just type download in the comments on that and make sure you get it. So Steve has put together and now distributed with his blessing a very, very important document about the perfect day process, which as Steve has mentioned, he normally only shares this with his high-paying clients, but you can have it for note today because we love you. So if you haven't seen a link to it yet, just type download in the comments. I'll make sure you get it. So Mimi likes the idea of making a ritual of choosing a journal. Yeah, it's a special journal. It's not just any old journal. Taking it back to basics, to the why. Inspired and clear where I'm heading. Superb session. Excellent. Well done, guys. I've never really believed that I am the future dreamer.
That's interesting.
So do you believe it more now? Is that what you're saying? Because you said that in the past tense, didn't you?
That is an interesting thing. Because if you don't believe it, then that's a pointer of where the work needs to be done.
Right. Philip, I will hunt you down and make sure you get it. I don't know where you're watching us. Philip, are you watching us on LinkedIn or Facebook or what? We'll find it. Anyway, okay, Steve, just a few words to sum up then, and we'll wrap up. Let these lovely people enjoy their Fridays.
First of all, it's so cool to be back.
It's great to have you back, my friend.
It's great, isn't it? We've had a lot of fun over the years, and I've missed this. This has been great.
Yeah.
And I'm really really inspired by some of the things that have come out from that.
Yeah, I know.
I really felt that I could get into some of those stories.
Yeah. Me too. Yeah, very much so.
And I really do believe that if you get clear on this stuff, if you get clear of where you're going, if you understand what's important, you might not end up with exactly the detail of the thing that you want, that you wrote down, the thing that you wanted, but it will certainly influence you at an unconscious level. It will influence you to move towards things. If your brain doesn't know the difference between reality and imagination, and if you imagine something strongly enough, if you spend enough time on something, you will drag your unconscious along with you, and it will start to show you things. It will start to point things out to you. There's a great trick that I get people to do, and I get them to get an envelope, and on the envelope they have to write the words, money comes to me easily from many different sources, right? And you have to leave that envelope on a shelf, and every time you find random money, something down the back of the sofa, you put it in the envelope, and it tunes your brain. And over time, suddenly you find that random money starts turning up. And it's not magic. It's just that you're tuning your unconscious mind as to what is important right now. It's the old thing of if you buy a new car, suddenly everybody's got the same car.
Yeah.
For about 3 or 4 weeks, everyone's got that car because you were focused on it. There's a cliche that if you talk to pregnant women, they'll say it's really strange. There must be a baby boom at the moment because everywhere I look, there's pregnant women.
Yes.
Well, there hasn't been a baby boom since the 60s.
Yeah.
But your brain is tuned, and this works in the same way. If you get really clear on what you want, if you get really clear on who you want to be and who you want to spend your time with and the kind of things you want in your life, your brain will just provide that stuff to you.
Yeah.
I cannot stress how important this is.
And if we do another session anytime soon, you and I, Steve, there's the topic on the screen, right? People who think money is not important generally haven't got any, right?
Yep.
Look, we must leave it. We must leave it. It's been fantastic. Philip Bott, I hope you've seen that link I've just dropped in LinkedIn right now under the video in the thread. so you can then download it from there. Yes, there it is. All right, it's been absolutely wonderful today, Stephen. Thank you so much, Steve.
Oh, Johnny.
Stevie B.
Johnny. Only my mum calls me Stephen.
Jonathan. Listen, have a great weekend, all of you. It's been a wonderful session today. We've got so much more of this good stuff coming up this year. So keep your diaries clear at this time on Friday. We're not going to move the sessions. It's going to be 4 till 5 UK time Fridays. So block it out. And then all you got to do is have a little sniff around on Friday morning, see what the broadcast's about, see where it is, and you'll be able to join us week in, week out, and get more and more of this good stuff. This is a final thank you from Fiona. Wonderful weekend to you as well, my dear. And
to everybody.
Thanks, Steve. Appreciate it. See you later.
Wonderful.